Hello everybody and welcome to Charlie's call logs for the month of December in 2022. And I'm going to split this video up into two parts. In the first part, I'm going to tell you some of the interesting information that we were dying to know of who Charlie called on Christmas Eve and Christmas, which was also Hanukkah this year, then also New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I'm also interested to see who Charlie called on those days, but there are a few mystery numbers. I'm not quite sure who this burner phone is, but Charlie seems to be calling them a lot, and Donna, and also Harvey, and also his lawyers. But let me just send it to the clip where I kind of break down who he's calling, and then I'm going to also send it to the clip of the actual pie chart and the breakdown. And hopefully this sheds some light on some more information concerning the Charles Adelson trial. And then we just got information that Daniel Rashbaum wants to block the general public knowing about Katie's proffer. I definitely understand why he wants to block that from the general public, but we all know that this case, most videos only get about 4,000 views. Some views go viral. Some of these videos go viral, but we know that there's not a ton of people watching this case. I often have to explain the case to people or what my channel is about, but especially in Florida, in North Florida, which I think is totally proves that this case is not that popular. But anyway, let me go ahead and send it to that video of me breaking down Charlie's holiday calls and then to the pie chart. Hello everyone. Welcome to Charlie's holiday calls, and I might do this as a breakout video. I'm sharing this information with you today. Charlie's holiday calls, who Charlie called on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, because I found this relevant to Charlie's case and how frequent his calls are, especially on holidays, or even calling his lawyers on government holidays, and just shows the dedication that Charlie's team of lawyers is putting in, although it definitely seems to be just one phone number that Charlie's calling from his law firm. And I also wanted to note some interesting things today. I ran into a local judge in my town in the next county over, and I was able to ask this judge some questions about jail calls, and she said that defendants are not supposed to be talking to witnesses in their case on the phone. So that would answer some of your questions of why Charlie is not talking to his sister Wendy. She is a state's key witness. And another thing about the calls to a therapist. I know that there's someone we have thought to be Charlie's therapist, although I've seen no evidence that Charlie is getting therapy over the phone from this individual, although the calls are frequent and on the holidays. So it might be more of a friendship, because I don't know many people who speak to their therapist past 9 p.m., which some of the calls have been to the alleged therapist, and also during holidays, which are usually reserved for family and friends. So I just wanted to note those two things that I found to be interesting. And also the calls to the alleged therapist do not seem to be at a specific time or in a specific pattern. Those calls are just sort of random to this alleged therapist. All right, so let's get into the calls that Charlie makes on the holiday. And I still consider this a holiday on Christmas Eve, because this year was also Hanukkah. It was coming down to the end of Hanukkah, and I think that most Jewish people do consider Christmas Eve and Christmas Day a major holiday, just because we get the day off, and it's just kind of a time to spend with family anyway. So let's go ahead and look at the first calls on Christmas Eve. Is the alleged therapist, Janice Manning, around 10:30 a.m. on Christmas Eve morning. So that was less than 10 minutes, and that's to the alleged therapist Janice Manning. And the next phone call that I found to be relevant was to Charlie's mother and alleged co-conspirator Donna Adelson at 10:40 a.m. on Christmas Eve morning. Short phone calls for both of them. Then we have another phone call around 10:50 a.m., which was about a 25-minute phone call to Donna Adelson, his alleged co-conspirator in this case, which I find to be very, not very smart for Charlie to be calling his alleged co-conspirator. According to this judge that I spoke to today, that is definitely frowned upon to call any people who are involved in the case. And definitely to talk about your case is definitely frowned upon. She agreed with me that seems very suspect. Oh, and another side note, this judge in my the next county over had never heard of the Dan Markel murder, and she lives in North Florida. So that just goes to show that not a lot of people, even who work in the law profession, know about this case. So just a side note. Okay, so moving on, the next call we have around 11:20 on Christmas Eve morning is to Charlie's lawyers for about a 10-minute call. And then this I found really interesting, you guys. At Christmas Eve afternoon, there is a 16-second call to Charlie's lawyer. And I guess that what I'm guessing is happening, Charlie calls his lawyer, says, "Can't talk now. Call me back in 10 minutes, in a minute or something." So it looks like Charlie made another phone call around 3:03 p.m. to this burner phone. And I am not going to get into who this alleged burner phone is. I think if you watch the past videos, you can use deductive reasoning to figure out who this phone call is. Oh, and then another phone call around 4 p.m. to Donna, a long phone call. And I just want to note that if I see any long duration phone calls, it's usually to Donna or the lawyers. So Charlie calls Donna Christmas Eve afternoon at 4 o'clock with about a 20-minute call. Then he calls his lawyer back at 7:18 p.m. with about a 15-minute phone call. And it seems to me like he's calling his lawyer's saying, "Yeah, call me back." Then Charlie calls Donna again at 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve evening. So then at 9:20, we have a 20-minute phone call with the alleged therapist, Janice Manning, who, I don't know about you guys, but if it was Christmas Eve, I would not be calling a therapist at 9:20 in the evening. So it seems like maybe if this person is his friend or his therapist, it seems like they're just having short conversations and she's picking up the phone from jail, just a friendly voice on the other end, and having about a 10 to 15 minute phone call with Charlie whenever he calls. Okay, so on Christmas Day, we have the first person that Charlie calls on Christmas morning is Donna with a 10-minute phone call, first Christmas alone in jail. And we have a call to the burner phone for about 5 minutes around 11:30 a.m. Then we have a call at noon to his lawyers for about 7 minutes. We have another phone call to the burner phone, very short call for a few minutes at about 12:17. Then we have another call to Donna just for about 3 minutes at 12:23. Then we have another call to Donna at 12:27, and it looks like the 20-minute call at 12:27. We have another call, a call to Charlie's lawyer, a 6-minute call at 6:42 p.m. And it seems like Daniel Rashbaum doesn't want to talk, or anyone from Daniel Rashbaum's law firm probably needs a day off. So maybe that short phone call is just, "Hey, Merry Christmas. Thank you for your patronage, and have a nice evening." So then he kind of ends Christmas evening with another call, another very short call on the burner phone, 6:53 p.m., just about a 10-minute call on the burner phone at 6:50, and then we have at 8:45 p.m. we have a call to Donna, which is the last call that he makes on Christmas evening and that's about a 30-second call. So it's probably, okay, good night, or sorry, can't talk to me tomorrow or something. Very short calls with Donna. She might have had somewhere to be, or at a Christmas party or a Hanukkah party. All right, let's move on to New Year's Eve. We have the first phone call is at 11:30 a.m. and that is to Donna for about 30 minutes. On New Year's Eve, we have the first call is 11:30 a.m. to Donna, and that's about 30 minutes. Then we have a call to the burner phone for about 10 minutes. Then we have a call 1:20 to Janice Manling for about 20 minutes. And then we have a call this call at 6:40 p.m. is to his lawyers for about 10 minutes. And then at 8 p.m. we have a call to Donna. So Donna is kind of the last person he talks to every day. And as far as the durations go, and I'm looking over these durations, the longest durations are with Janice and Donna on these holidays so far. 20-minute calls to Janice and Donna, and 10-minute calls to the burner and his lawyers on these holidays only. I'm just looking more specifically for New Year's Eve. Okay, so New Year's Day. Let's look at New Year's Day. We have a call to Donna at 11:30 a.m. That's a long call, and that's 30 minutes. Then we have a call at 12:30 to the burner phone for 10 minutes. All right, so then we have a call to the lawyers at 12:45. It's about 80 seconds. So the lawyers are probably saying, hey, had a late night last night. Give us a call back in a little bit. It's a holiday, Charlie. And maybe have to remind him that it's a holiday. So then we have another call to the lawyers at 3 p.m. for about 20 seconds. And then he calls the lawyers back at 3:30. And that's about 30 seconds. And then around 4 p.m., we have a long call to Donna at 35 minutes. So Donna is definitely winning the award of most minutes during the holiday. And then at 6:45, around 6:46 p.m., we have a call that is 30 seconds to Donna again. So Donna is kind of like sometimes ghosting Charlie and saying, hey, call me back. And then at around 8:13, he calls Donna back for about a 10-minute phone call right before he goes to sleep. And another thing I asked this judge was whether or not the inmates have a tablet in their room where they make phone calls. And according to the district she works in North Florida, they do. They can have a tablet in their room, but she definitely stresses to the defendants the importance of not speaking about the case or calling alleged co-conspirators or witnesses in the case or harassing witnesses. That is a big no-no. So I'm going to go ahead and send it to the part of the video where I break down the calls from December for Charlie's calls from the Leon County Jail. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the part of this video where I talk about Charlie's phone calls for the month of December, the year 2022 from the Leon County Jail. And I am looking at, in the last part I looked a little bit at duration and the holidays, and This time I want to talk about Charlie's calls in the month of December that I gathered from about December 6th to January 5th. So it's roughly a little bit into January. And I did not receive any incident reports. I asked for them, but I did not receive them. So anyway, hopefully I will get them next time, or it doesn't seem like there were any incidents, or that maybe they're just changing their protocol. But I want to talk about the totals for the sample that I took was 284 calls total. And Charlie made the most calls to his lawyers and Donna. It was an actual exact tie with 92 calls to his lawyers and 92 calls to Donna. An exact split down the middle of 32% for Donna and his lawyers. So whether they're all sharing information or talking about the case, the judge that I talked to today, just kind of asking some random questions to one of the local judges, I have heard that it's very much frowned upon to talk to a co-conspirator or talk about the case. She said that these calls are listened to by the jail and very much so frowned upon to talk about the case, except to your lawyer, which is totally classified information. And of course, Donna is probably talking to Daniel Rashbaum to see what they are talking about, because allegedly Daniel Rashbaum is Donna's lawyer as well, and Harvey Adelson's lawyer as well. The next most phone calls are made to the burner phone. And I guess if you guys want to know who this burner phone is, I would suggest looking at my videos from Charlie's call logs for about September or October to see who is missing from this. I definitely want to protect any innocent parties that do not want to be involved, but that burner phone got 30 phone calls for 11% of the phone calls in the month of December. Then we have Janice Manalang, who Charlie made 10 phone calls to the month of December. And I just also wanted to note that I am definitely looking for patterns and times of any of these phone calls are being made, especially to Janice Manalang, because she is a psychologist, I believe, and it would make sense that they would have a specific call time if she was his psychologist or therapist. And I just do not see any specific patterns of call times or calling on the hour or having even phone calls that are longer in 10 minutes duration. So I think that with a therapist, I think they would definitely be making phone calls, more than 10 phone calls a month, or maybe 2 or 3 longer ones in duration. But the funny thing is, Charlie's not really using his full-time duration. So it seems like the maestro is running out of things to talk about, even to his friends and family. Okay, so then these financial phone calls, Charlie makes about 9 of them. According to my mother, she has looked into it. There are a few new names on this chart, but I just didn't find them to be relevant to the case. And I want to keep innocent parties out of this, and especially if I am not sure of who they are. So the financial calls were about 2%. And then the phone calls to Harvey were only 4 phone calls made, and that's about 1%. And then we have other phone calls, and that is 17%. Because Charlie has access to an iPad, I'm not sure if he has access to the internet, but I'm sure that he can get phone calls from Donna or his lawyer to kind of jot down any numbers of things, that loose ends that he wants to tie up for his personal life, in his home, or assets, etc., etc. I just hope you guys are really enjoying this. The most frequent calls to Donna and his lawyers are no surprise, but I kind of noticed the durations are getting a little bit shorter with 30-second phone calls. So maybe his mom and lawyer or people are picking up and saying, hey, now is not a good time, call back later. That's what I'm just guessing. So the calls are very frequent, though. I think Charlie would talk to people longer if they would stay on the line, if they weren't so busy. But I hope this is getting some light on more information in the Charles Adelson trial, and I will go ahead and send it to the last part of this video and tell you more of what I'm up to. All right, thank you so much. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that by this time this video comes out, I'll have Charlie's cell phone records, the cell phone, breaking down a little bit more information about the cell phone records, which I think will be a really interesting defense for Charlie, and the Idaho murder. Brian Kohberger, and I honestly don't want to cover that case. It just makes me so sick to my stomach what happened to those kids, and I don't even want to look any more into it. It seems like an open and shut case, but also so does Charlie's case. Kind of seems like an open and shut case, but I guess time will tell, and I'm going to keep looking in the file if anything interesting comes out, and also put in a request yesterday for Katie's Leon County jail file, so stay tuned for more videos, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.